welcome to Sunday Stamping with Trisha. I'm with One Fat Chick Designs, and I wanted to show you real quick two things before we get started on this darling card. I actually am a member of a group called Maryland Stampers, and here's the little stamp here. And I had these stamps made, and I'll tell you about those in just a second. But we're doing an Easter swap, and this is my submission. So today I'm going to I cut everything out, and we'll put it together, and I'll tell you dimensions. But here are the eggs are kind of a swirly effect, and I kind of wanted to show you those. So first of all, the cute stamps right here were made, and here's her business card, Burns Nest, and her name's Holly Burns, and I'll have all this information for you on my blog tomorrow. And I just wanted to show you, it's so cute. She had it made specifically. I sent her our logo, and I also have return address labels made too for each one of these. So I just thought these were so darling. Okay, anyway, on to our card. Okay, so first we're starting with your typical 4.5 by 4.25 by 11. And I've scored it at 2 3/4, and then I flipped it over and scored it 2 3/4. And I used my little bone folder, and I'm just going to make sure those are real down so that it doesn't pop open on us. And I wasn't a big bone folder user until I started making these gatefold cards. Okay, so I'm using the Cupcakes and Carousels Designer Series paper. I love it, and I hadn't had a chance to work with it. And I also used the Bermuda Bay and the Calypso markers on this. I did my sentiment in the Bermuda Bay. I guess I didn't use the Calypso Coral, but I do have both of them. I purchased them both. And then the stamps that I'm using is the Basket Builder. I'm sorry, Basket Bunch. I'm messing up all kinds of ways today. Okay. And then I used the layering circles. And I used the second one in here of the solid to cut this. Now I've been looking at these snow globe. I don't know if you've seen it using the hot air balloon snow globe. The rings that are in the hot air balloon, there's a piece and it comes out, you know, the rings in the hot air balloon are like this. Well, if you turn it around like this, it makes the perfect snow globe. So I love those little snow globes. So if you look at my completed piece, you can see this. Isn't that cute? Okay, so I already cut your eggs out for you. I'm going to set this to the side for a second. I already cut the eggs out for you, and I'm going to show you the ones that are done here. Now let me show you how I did that. I Versamarked the eggs on, and then I took a sponge, and I took my Sweet Sugar Plum marker and my Bermuda Bay, and I just put them on my block. Just like this. And I wanted both colors to show up. So the first thing I did was use the Sweet Sugar Plum and just filled in my circles and my stripes. And with this is clear embossing powder, if you can believe it, it turned kind of white colored because it picked up the very vanilla from behind. Okay, so then you just take and sponge it on. Start over in the corner. And I didn't want it to be too blue, so I turned it around and I did the Sweet Sugar Plum. And it just makes a really cool, you've seen those marbled eggs. Makes a really cool. So anyway, when you're all said and done, moving this to the side, here are your eggs. And let me bring them up a little closer just so you can see. This is actually my favorite one. So can you see that? Isn't that cute? Okay. So putting this card together is so easy. So here's my card base, and I cut the panels for it. I cut at, move this out of the way, 2 5/8 by 4 1/8. So we're just going to adhere that. And I almost love this back side, but I'm afraid if I use this, well, anyway, we're going to do it. We're going to go for it. No, we're not, because I really need to play off the Calypso Coral. But I do love this side of the paper. I'm just going to put my panels on. Look, your panels magically came on. Okay, so the next thing we do is I took 2 pieces of the Calypso Coral at 13 inches, And I just tied them on here because I felt like there was too much white space. So I'm just tying 2, and it doesn't matter if they're twisty. It gives it a real cool cable-y look. Yes, that's a technical term. And then you can fan them out. Do all kinds of things. And if you notice, I used Peekaboo Peach here and then the ruched ribbon. Sorry, Peekaboo Peach and the ruched ribbon. Okay, and here we can just do whatever we want. Okay. So then I'm going to put in the pieces that I know I don't have to work very hard with. So this is a piece of Bermuda Bay, and I will have all the dimensions on my blog. And then this is a piece of Calypso Coral. And notice I'm only putting the tape on one side of this because it's going to fold. So when you open your card, it's going to open like this. Get it? Okay, so now I need to work on the piece that I'm putting together. So I've been watching some videos here, and they've been taking their dimensional, for lack of a better term here, just the strips of dimensional. And they've been doubling it up. And that's how I got it so high. So then I'm just going to take all the tape off. Now here it is with all the dimensional tape on it. And you don't have to be 100% exact because we're not using any film because it's not a shaker. It's just a dimensional piece. It reminds me of when I was a little girl, we had these sugar eggs. I don't know if you know what I'm talking about. And there you go. You can see I get all that dimension there. And the reason I'm doing that much dimension is because I want this grass to pop. And what I did is took the grass and then I cut with the circle as well so that it would fit in there. And I'm just going to take a little piece. And I'm not worried about it if you see a little bit of this tape because I'm going to place something in its way. So I just wanted this to not be doubled. I want it to be single because I want to give it that diorama look to it. And really you could put a couple pieces in, but I'm not too worried about it because I'm going to hide some stuff here. And the reason I cut that down so far was because it doesn't really fit otherwise. So I've taken the bunny and I've used clear embossing powder. And I've embossed the bunny and cut it out with the little cut things, die cuts. And now, because again, I want it to be more like a diorama, I'm going to stick my eggs on the other side of the grass and hide any of those little, see, I hit it right away, blemishes. There's another little one. So cute, so easy. Egg doesn't want to stick. Okay, there we go. Okay, so then all I need to do is put the adhesive on the back here and stick it right here in the middle of my card. Okay, and then to get the sentiment on there, I just cut it out and I'm going to cut it in strips. So I'm coming right through the middle here. And I'm going to trim this down. Now if you notice, I just cut around the words here. So I'm just going to add a little bit of adhesive. Put one right there. And I loved this. This is the reason why I bought it, is my daughter always loves these hollow bunnies that she gets. That's what this reminds me of. And then put the chocolate on. It's okay if it dips a little bit. Then the next thing is, remember how I said that this was more of a snow globe effect? You could, I kept mine plain, but you could very easily run it through the embossing. And then we're just going to put it right up here, and it goes a little bit over the edge. And there's our little snow globe. Would be really cute with some window sheet and some little Easter egg sequins or just sequins or glitter. I just didn't do anything of that. So anyway, here is your Sunday Stamping Easter card, the card I'm sending for my swap. If you're not part of my swap, here's another one. If you're not a part of my swap and you'd like to see this card firsthand, make a comment on my blog, and my blog is www.onefatchickdesigns.com. And when you see this, make a comment, and I'll randomly pick somebody on Monday, and I will send one person the one with the ruched ribbon and one person the one with the baker's twine. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you have a great week.